Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. I am absolutely delighted to be joined at a Bet365 event by the magnificent Bolo Zenden. Bolo, my friend, first off, how are you? Good?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate, not too bad. Pleasure to be joined by you, of course. Much appreciate the time. Right, we're going to start off speaking about a compatriot of yours, somebody you know very, very well from your time together at PSV. Of course, you work with him as a coach. I think I'm right in saying Cody Gakpo. He's had a really interesting Liverpool career, a really good Liverpool career as well. He was used in quite an unconventional way at the start. He was moved positions a lot. He obviously last season under Arne Slot had competition with Luis Diaz. Now he is our left winger. The shirt is his own, the position is his own. How would you sort of evaluate his Liverpool career so far?
Well, so far, I guess whenever you come from abroad and you come to the Premier League, it's never easy to adapt to a new competition. Also new teammates, find your ways. I thought in the beginning he really showed himself rather quickly because it wasn't probably ideally for him to come in and play straight away, but he did, and he did quite well. Then obviously you get to a period where it's not always going well for yourself. As you mentioned, he also played in different positions, was used as a striker, sometimes on the right, a tenor. I still think his best position is probably on the left-hand side. And along the way, they've won a league, and he's really proven that he's a Liverpool-worthy player. And it's obviously this season is not going to be easy, not just for him, but for the whole squad. It's not an easy season. It's good to see that they're really performing well in the Champions League, and it's not easy when you do well in the Champions League. That 3 days later you have to perform again in the Premier League. But they're gradually moving up, and of course there's certain things happen during the season, or even just before the season. We all know that happened with Jota. I think so. I'm not just talking about Gakpo at the minute, but just the whole squad. I think that had a big impact on the squad. It's not to use as an excuse, of course, but it's something that is there. You can't put it away. We've had the injuries. That doesn't help because you have to change a lot of the positions. For example, you've seen Szoboszlai playing as a right back, which he didn't do badly, but it's not his best position. We know the struggles that have been with Mo Salah, signing, not signing, leaving, not leaving. That doesn't help the team. So there's been a lot that has come on Arne Slot's plate, and of course on the whole squad. So then back to Cody, I don't think all that didn't help him either. So it's the whole package. But if you put a big line underneath it, I think he's done really well at Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned some of the problems that we've had, some of the issues we face, a lot of them obviously on the pitch, some away from the pitch, out of the managers and the squad's control, but just on Arne Slot, obviously an unbelievable, you never would have dreamt the first season that he had at Liverpool. This time around, again, more challenges, been a little bit more difficult for him. How do you think he sort of navigated that? He's coming through the other side now, it looks like some good Champions League performances, as you mentioned. It does feel like he's starting to get a little bit momentum back.
Yeah, I think obviously when he came to Liverpool, no one expected to have a successful season like he did. That also brings obviously a certain expectation for the second year. So in a way, his success of the first year is actually hurting him at the moment, because everybody expects exactly the same, which is maybe not something that is fair on him. But still, that's football, so you have to perform. I think he's handled quite well the press as well, because it's not easy, obviously, when you're in a position where they try to force you out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, lots of pressure.
So it's not been easy, and as you said, it's definitely a storm, but it seems like the storm has settled down a bit, and the only way that settles down is when you get results. And of course you want to see good football. I heard a comment from Arne Slot lately that he said, well, it's nice to win something, but it's in a way it's nicer to be remembered for the kind of football that you played, the kind of football that the fans are relating to. And if you can obviously combine that with trophies, then it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But imagine coming to a club, winning one trophy and then moving on is probably for him maybe less valuable than really putting a stamp on the team, setting down a certain style of football where you can be proud of as fans and as a team and as a manager. It's a bit, maybe it's a little bit of a Dutch thing to say and to think, because everybody's talking about, for example, Ajax in the 70s or the Dutch in the 70s and the total football and those eras of football are still remembered. And I guess that's a little bit what Arne Slot means, is that Liverpool Football Club should stand for a certain way of football, and that obviously is brought to the club by a style that fits a manager.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about, we mentioned the Champions League a couple of times, and Liverpool's record in Europe by and large this season has been okay. We've progressed obviously into the knockout phases. We'll wait and see what comes next, of course, but you experienced Anfield on European nights, both as a Liverpool player and as an opposing player. Just tell us, what is it about that stadium on those nights that makes it so special?
Well, it's I think it's two things. It's first of all the fans. It's like the fans expect something special or something different, and they bring that excitement to the pitch. And I guess that reflects then again on the players, where they maybe have to. They think that they can actually bring just a little bit more with the backing of the fans, but of course it's also there when you have a Premier League game. It's like Anfield, then it's like not a fortress, but you know what I mean. It's like a place where you're hard to beat. You know, it's this is your ground. This is Anfield. This is where Liverpool has to win and is gonna win. You know, you can always, you know, find a rabbit out of the hat to score that goal in the 94th minute or whatever, and that's what brings something extra. And I thought about it as well sometimes. I think, okay, maybe it's people that not always get into the stadium. They get a ticket for a Champions League game because the season tickets are already sold out, you know, and it's not easy to get a ticket for a normal game.
Yeah.
Normal as in Premier League.
Yeah.
And then it's an opportunity to see Liverpool play, and that's then on a Champions League night. Yeah. Maybe that's something else, maybe that comes to it.
There's definitely something special about those nights, isn't there?
And it's obviously, it's a way, in the end, it's the shortest way to a trophy, because the league is obviously so many games over a period of 10 months time, where, well, nowadays Champions League is also more games than before.
Yeah, it's a lot of games now.
But it's like it's you're getting places with every win quicker.
Yeah, and absolutely. Liverpool got such a great connection with that competition, obviously.
And one of the
not longer. We predate the Champions League, European Cup, obviously. And I wanted to ask you, actually, sort of finally to round off. Obviously, we spoke about Arne Slot and the fact that he's managed to sort of turn the corner with Liverpool side now. We spoke about Gakpo, obviously led by Virgil van Dijk, another Dutch counterpart of yours, and Liverpool and Holland captain. From everything you've seen, from everything you know about Liverpool, from the Anfield factor, can we still do something magic in this year's Champions League? Like the Premier League form would say no, but in Europe, this football club, Liverpool could still win the Champions League.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the teams that are still in the competition, because there's a few obviously out, I think Bayern Munich and Arsenal are looking really solid. We've seen Arsenal obviously also in the Premier League doing really well. But then again, the favourites doesn't always win this tournament. And Liverpool on the day or on the night can always produce something special. So why not? But it's not going to be an easy road. And it also depends obviously on the draw that comes along. We've seen last year that, for example, Paris Saint-Germain just qualified on match day 8, and in the end they won the competition by 5-0 in the final. So no one would have expected this. So yeah, of course, anything is possible.
Just in terms of the Liverpool squad then, to finally, like, in terms of Florian Wirtz, in terms of Gravenberch, like, in terms of the personnel that's in there, they possess the quality to do something that special in terms of winning the Champions League, you would say.
Yeah, but then again, I think we put too much pressure on maybe the players, but definitely also on the manager, because if you say you have the players to do something special and then you don't, then it means the manager has failed. It's also, in the end, it's always a combination, and it depends on your injuries of late. As I said, if you're forced to play Szoboszlai as a right back, then you know he's going to do the job, but it's not his best position, so you can't get the best out of him the way you like. And so I can go on and on about these possibilities, but as I said, it's a good thing that there's always a certain faith in that it's possible, and that's why we play football.
Bolo, top man. Much appreciated. Everybody else, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Take care, see you soon.